Oh, see that? Zoom's got a new feature where you can drag and drop different people in the gallery view to prioritize it. Isn't that interesting?
Oh, yeah. Wow. I didn't notice that. See, something new and exciting all the time. All right. Well, welcome everyone to our Build to Bronze call. It is great to have you all here. Today we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to get a couple of you to share your DMO and what you came up with, and to give some feedback on that process. And then we're going to talk a little bit about your ideal builder. So this is an exercise that some of you on the call will have done, some of you won't have done, but it's just getting really clear on what you want to attract. So the more clarity, this is why we do so much work on your why and what you want to do this for, and then you get clear on who you want to attract, because the more you're clear on that, the more things come to you, right? So that's just clarity is very, very important. Having clarity on what you want, where you're going, what you're going to do to get it. Obviously you need action, but you need the clarity first before otherwise you're just going off taking random action. And I know the times in my life where I've had clarity on what I have wanted and what I've wanted to achieve or what I've wanted to bring into my life, that has appeared very easily. And the times where I've been really not very sure, guess what? It's just like nothing really happens. It just kind of like goes through that cruising phase, cruising through life. Maybe, things don't work out a lot of the time. Can anyone relate to that happening? Like when they're clear? And yeah, when you're not clear. So, and it's easy to get into periods where you're not clear. Like I know when I had Joy and I was a new mum, I kind of lost all my clarity for like overall what I was wanting in life. And that can happen when different things in your life happen. You can kind of lose that. So it's always really important to come back to that. So that's why we always talk about that stuff so much and do so much work around it. But of course, the DMO is your daily action to sort of like move you and propel you forward into, creating the why and the bigger goals that you've set for yourself. So does anyone want to share the DMO exercise? Like, did they come up with the DMO? What they found in that exercise? It'd be great to hear from just 2 or 3 people what that was like for you, because probably your experience, there'd be other people that can relate to that. Debbie.
I've been looking at all our successful business builders for ASEA and listening to what their DMO was, or what they would have changed if they had understood what they were doing at the beginning a lot clearer. And with that, I've been putting together what I need to do to fast track. And actually it was quite simple, but it's actually quite hard when you start trying to put it together. And personal growth activities, I'm putting an hour a day into personal growth activities. And what I am not doing, I have a lot of, I don't have business builders in my team. So I really have to start thinking about how I'm going to do my daily DMO to attract business builders and what I say to people when I'm talking to them. That's very clear. I'm making the most of the 3-way calls with Julie, and that's really taken the pain right out of my life as far as having to know anything.
Yes.
All I have to know is Julie's number virtually. It just really helps out. So I can listen to what she explains to the person and what her routine is. So I'm starting to learn that. So I feel more confident actually now when I'm talking to somebody. So I'm really looking at how I want to build my team moving forward. So that's taking a lot of work to understand. And now that also brings me back to understanding the business side and the construction, the business plan of how to do that. So there's a lot of things in there that you have to, so it looks simple, but really there's a lot of work there for me.
That's good. So you feel like you've made some progress with that this week, though?
I have actually. It doesn't look like it if you look at my scribbling, but to me it does. And I couldn't give you a daily routine now because there's still so much that I want to get further in depth to before I make it a routine.
Yeah.
And I really want to get clear on doing cold calling as well, because I think that's going to help me grow personally, not for any other reason, that will take me through my fear barriers, which I don't know why they're there. And I've done some great things in my life, and now I'm scared of a phone call. That's ridiculous. So I have to work on that. And also it's taken me, my family's got a thing going on at the moment, and I've had to come forward and see myself a lot clearer in the family, because I've always been the backstop, and it came to good old Deb here needed a hero, and there wasn't one, and I had to become my own hero, get myself to hospital because I was dying, and that made me sit up and take a good long look at myself and how I see myself as to where I want to move forward and where I want the family to see me moving forward, rather than being here to pick up the pieces when someone's sick or they need help, or I need to be a lot more than that for myself. Do that, but do something for myself. So that's very, very clear, very clear in my why.
That's really brilliant, because I was just reading a book this week myself, and it talked about, the importance of doing your why, but then to take that a step further and to get really clear on who you will have to become to achieve that why. So it's great that just by going through and digging into that and doing your DMO exercise, it actually revealed a lot more deeper things that are having, that you're having to work and deal with. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Great share, Debbie. Thank you for the vulnerability, and that, the why should be a lot more than just building a business. It's about fulfilling your personal potential. And I know what the feeling is, what it's like. If you're just picking up the pieces all the time, you never get to do the important stuff.
You stop being seen, you become a crutch for everyone. And my family didn't intend for that to happen either. I've talked about it, and they were surprised that I had been seeing myself like that. So it's not what they were doing, it's what I was doing for myself. So the why is quite deep for me, because I've always been the crutch for not realising. They don't need a crutch. They just need me to be who I want to be.
Yeah, great.
Anyone else want to share what the DMO exercise, brought up for them? Just like keeping it really short, like 60 to 90 seconds. And because this is really important that you get this and you start doing it daily. It's even before you're ready.
Can I just jump in, Nicole? Just with the DMO, I'm a bit like Debbie, just feeling it through, but as part of the personal growth stuff, I sort of start looking into this book that was about numerology, and I don't know if, how people look into numerology, but you work at your birth date, and I'm like a 22-4 or something, someone who needs like this foundational process and step-by-step guide to get to where I need to be. But the actual negative loop I get into is wanting everything now and getting confused about it without going through the steps. So it's like, this is so important for me to get down to do day-to-day activities that I've always just been fuzzy about and haven't, dialed into. So that was really great that I found out last night that that's my weak point, right? And I need to
work on it.
But like, it was such a revelation last night. But anyway, that's a bit of woo-woo stuff, but more clarification for me.
Yeah. So it's like, there's a saying that a lot of people, you hear a lot of leaders say, 2 a day brings freedom your way. So you're always talking to 2 new people a day, whatever forum, you're doing that through phone, in person, online, whatever it is. Online, you probably need to be doing more than that, because it's a lot more challenging to cultivate those relationships. So this is like very important that you look at like why you're not doing this, if you're not doing this, and what's holding you back, and how you're going to put that in place to do it with your DMO. Do you have anything to add, Justin? I can see you like nodding your head there.
Yeah. I'm thinking about a few things. Like just one thing that Chris brought up about, looking at a book and got some new knowledge, a new perspective on knowledge. What I would warn against using anything, whether it's numerology, whether it's a personality profiling type, whether it's a certain business system, is don't let it disempower you. Add that knowledge to where you're at and take the truth out of it to empower you. I think that's most important, because at the end of the day, if it's something else than other humans created, that's just their perspective. And that perspective changes. Be truthful to your own perspective of where you're at right now. I think that's the key. With authenticity comes what's important to you, your values, and that's where your why comes from. That's where your DMO comes from, knowing the basics, the foundational things of what you've got to do. And that's where your ideal business business builder comes from as well, because it's like, who do you want to connect with? Who do you genuinely want to work with and genuinely want to help? You know, so I think authenticity is a really key part to being in this business. And at the end of the day, if you're here to be executives, to be in the business, that's not just to sell some product, that's to lead, to become a leader. And people will do business with you if they know you, like you, and trust you. And again, that's authenticity. So that has got to be a key principle in this business, a first principle approach. You have to be real, and the hardest person for you to be real with is actually yourself. Like Debbie had to reassess how she was showing up in the value in the family and in the family unit, and then have some conversations with those people about, I need this for myself. I need you to adjust your behaviors so that I can adjust my behaviors so that I can show up and do what I want to do with my life. That's the big conversations that's going to shift your why, your DMO, and then that challenge of going through evolving to become that entrepreneur, to become that leader. You're going to resonate, or people are going to resonate with you that also want to do that or have been through that process. So there's these common threads through all of these distinct processes. Why DMO, ideal business builder, there's a common thread all through it of who you are and what's important to you.
Mm-hmm.
Boundaries, yes, Charlotte, boundaries are key. And learning what to say no to.
Can I add something in here? I've been part of my personal development as I've been doing an online course with Russ Hudson on the Enneagram, which I've been involved in for a number of years, and listening to one of his books. And I'm a type 6 on the Enneagram, and he described the 6 as the reluctant leader. And I realised that my fear about you know, I've had a few people that have got on the bus and got off it, and somebody used that terminology, and I realised that it's because I haven't led from the beginning. I've had my fear about getting in touch with them and telling them how to do things and linking them in with things has actually stopped me from being a leader and supporting the people. So it's been more about my fear than about people. So understand, I know what you're saying, Justin, about these are ideas that have come, but this has a very long tradition, and I'm not using it as a cop-out. I'm using it as, all right, this is something I actually recognise in myself as well. And so how do I incorporate that? And I have been in touch with heaps of people over the last few days, and I've set up social meetings. Most of them are ex-workmates, because there's a lot of fear in my workplace, and I don't want to get into the situation of being seen to have a conflict of interest. People have been sacked with no apparent reason. I don't want to be the next one, but there's a lot of ex-workmates who I really like and who like me, and I've set up social meetings with them. I've cleaned up my house so I would feel okay about having an in-home. And I've talked to Jeanette and Jen about doing some either in-home women, wine and wrinkles or whatever. So I've been also listening to Jordan Adler again, listening to his thoughts about momentum and also about heart connection with people. And so I've been doing things for people and supporting people without even talking about the business. So I've been really active the last 2 days, and the Monday and Tuesday are my big ASEA days, and I've also been working on my why, but it hasn't made me cry yet. So I don't think I've gone deep enough, but I get the sack, I'll cry because I'll be broke.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be one of the biggest group of people living in poverty, which is single older women, and that's my biggest why. Yep.
Well, I think you just answered your own question there. If you get the sack, you'll cry.
Oh, well.
So instead of getting the sack, work on your second gig, so it doesn't matter
Yeah.
whether you get the
Yeah,
sack.
exactly.
I love the words of Jim Rohn, where my part-time gig paid me more than my full-time job.
Yeah,
A part-time business pays me more than my full-time job. Like, what a great position to be in.
yeah. I don't work full time, and I do extra sometimes, but I don't want to be there. It's become a very unsafe place to be.
I think
Yeah.
that's every workplace, Dana, and it hasn't been like overnight, just hasn't been
No.
COVID. It's been the last 10 years. It's more and more rationalization because things are changing so fast in technology and industries changing so fast. Adaptation is the key, right? We have to be able to adapt and evolve quickly, and in this business particularly as well. And that's why looking at this stuff and getting real with it is that if I don't have my backup plan, my part-time gig that's paying me more than my full-time job or my part-time job, I'm vulnerable.
Yeah,
I'm vulnerable to
absolutely.
real suffering.
Yeah,
So,
living in the car.
and that motivates you enough to do
Yeah.
your DMO today.
Yeah,
And the thing is, one of the big things that people don't realize with this business is that it's not what you do, a few days. It's what you do a little bit over time. The compounding impact of that. That's the blessing of this business. If you just did 1 or 2 hours effective work on prospecting, inviting, showing a tool, following up, and getting people started, you do that over time. That's how you make this $1 million business.
Thank you,
You're welcome. Thanks for sharing, Debbie. Back
Diana.
to you, Nixta. So looking at ideal builders.
Yeah, let's look at ideal builders. So if you want to think about, like, if you have really nailed your DMO, come and share in the group, like, how that's made you feel. Like, now, if you've really landed on something that you feel good about implementing to inspire others that are maybe still struggling with nailing that down, but it's really important and achievable. And that can be, you can have that so you can do it in 30, 60 minutes a day if that's achievable for you to do every day. So, if you have more time, of course, you can make it and expand it so you have more time, but don't make it more time than what you can actually commit to getting it done every day. If you find a day where you've got some more time, guess what? You can spend some more time, but it's like your daily method of operation. So it's really important to make it achievable. But yeah, so what we're going to talk about a little bit is your ideal builder statement. So who has ever done this with me? I've had some people do this. I know a few people on the call have done their ideal builder statement. And it's not like every single person is going to meet this exact description that you put, but it's again about having clarity on who you want to come in and be your partners in the business, okay? Because remember, this is the Build to Bronze program. So yes, you're going to go and you're going to find customers along the way as you do this. However, you are going to also need to attract people in that are going to catch the vision of this and also become people that build the business. So this is a very simple way of doing it. Now, why can I not find the right page to share here? Here it is. Here it is. Okay, so hopefully, can everyone see that? All good. Okay, fantastic. So finding your builders. So these are people you want to think of this person as committed and capable. So how can we look at a really simple way to define that, okay? And you might need to enroll a lot of people to find your builders. People think that they're going to be really easy to find. Sometimes when they start this business, that's not the case. It might be just one person out of every 10 or more that are actually really interested in seizing the business opportunity, okay? So there's not anything wrong with you if you're introducing people and they're not wanting to build a business. But you do want to attract people that are committed. Okay, so to be committed, you want to attract someone who is going to actually be committed in their first 14 days of deciding to build a business. They're going to complete the share guide. They're going to do their why. They're going to contact their top 20. They're going to host some sort of a launch event with you, whether that's online or in person. And you want to attract people who are capable, right? So when you can attract someone like that, they are actually able to enroll someone within very quickly of getting started. And those kind of people that do that, guess what? They actually had some skills that they brought into something like a SIA or a network marketing opportunity that allowed them to be able to do that. So would you like people in your business that actually come to it with some of those skills where they actually have some capability to do that from the outset? Everyone would like that, right? And then, of course, we're all going to have people that come in that it's going to take them longer to build and grow those skills because they've got to do a lot of personal development work, a lot of work on themselves, their mindset, and their belief systems. So this is, you know, for you to just spend a little bit of time this week to envisage your ideal builder, okay? So what sort of qualities does that person have? What characteristics do they embody? And the more that you focus on that, you know, and you put that up, it's like putting your why up. You know, I'm really big on putting things up and reading them, is to attract those people to you as well. So when I initially wrote this out, and it really is, I think it's reflected in the team of people that we have, is my ideal builder was someone who genuinely cared about other people, about improving their health and wellness outcomes, and really operating from a place of where they were a heart-centered entrepreneur. And like, that was really important to me, that was the kind of person that I wanted to attract. Now that could be different to someone else. It could be just all about, you know, they're going to attract someone who comes in with speed and momentum. And it's not so much about that heart-centered. I wanted like people heart-centered who had a lot of integrity. They're important values to me. So this is really important that you get that right. That you know, are clear on what you want, but you do need that committed and capable if they're going to come into your business and help you do get that momentum. And so just think about who you know to write some potential business partners. And this is an exercise to prompt you. Maybe these people are on your chicken list. Who is relationship oriented or influential? Someone who is influential in the community, or influential in that a lot of people look up to them, or who, you know, open to health, wellness, more natural things, or someone who is like really goal orientated, self-motivated and ambitious. Someone who's positive, like got a positive attitude all the time. We all know that really counts in this business. Maybe they got experience as an entrepreneur, you know, someone experienced in sales. Someone who's in a phase of life who supports building a business. Someone with a 2-week-old baby, maybe not, that's probably not the phase of their life right at that point when their baby's 2 weeks old, that's going to be, you know, they're probably just like not even getting any sleep, right? Or someone who's looking for improved finances or a better future. So like, just think about this and write a bit of a list. I'm just going to hand over to Justin for 1 sec while I go and shut the door.
So on this, does everyone know where Nicole's at with the launch and build guide? You do need to start to really get your head around where all of these tools are. So she's actually on page 15 of the launch and build guide. So if you don't have that document, make sure you go to Ginny and you get it downloaded, and or in the Shine Bright team in the unit section and the file section, you can download these as well. But this launch and build guide, it's a very extensive plan to give you the tools to get clear on this.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you for adding that in. See, he keeps me like focused on these important things that sometimes I forget about. I'm also going to put it into the Telegram group for you all as well, so that you all have it there. So does that make sense to people? I know this exercise can be really helpful. And then I've reviewed my ideal business builder statement at times when I've been like, actually, no, I'm really looking to work with this kind of people right now. So yeah, it's definitely, actually just sitting here and going through this, it's definitely something that I am overdue myself to review. So I don't know if anyone else, any of the other leaders on the call that have actually done this statement, like this exercise, want to share like how that's kind of helped them get clarity. So a lot of these exercises are just giving you more and more clarity on what it is that you want. So I know I've worked with some people before. So does anyone want to share how this has kind of helped them?
Yeah, I'd like to talk into this a little bit, because what this is one, you are getting some reflection on who you want to work with, and surrounding yourself with people with like-minded values. When I remember I was quite young, probably Nicole and I and myself, we did a lot of personal development, a lot of professional development, different courses, entrepreneur courses, wealth creation courses and speakers and so forth, when right through our 20s and 30s. And I think I must have been in my very early 20s, possibly my late teens. I was, and I can't even remember who it was, but they were a very successful entrepreneur, and I had a lot of respect for them. And I remember they said, to be successful in this world, you can't do it alone. You need a team, and you need to surround yourself with people of like-minded values. So that's what this Ideal Builder is about, like-minded values. And then you can specify even more what Nicole was talking about, specific skills. Okay, so skill set. But also one thing you might want to think about when it comes to marketing, you want to find where is the niche? Where is the niche that you can help? And that means like finding the problem that people are struggling with, that you can provide the solution with. Okay, so with what Diana was talking about before, she doesn't want to be that elderly, single, unemployed, poverty female, right? That's a demographic that it is not a part of her reality. She wants a different life, and that's a great thing to be commended. So what I would suggest for her is say, if you connect with that, because a part of your life, connect with others that have experienced that or nearly experienced that, right? And have a look at what are their needs? What are they looking for? Because then that's going to actually start to dictate how you contact them, what tools you send them, whether you do it in person, whether you do it online. You start to get very specific on how to market towards this ideal builder. Is that starting to make sense? Because we are professional network marketers. Don't forget the marketing component of that title. And I think a lot of networkers do. They just tend to talk to people, or these days, like send information online. But marketing is a skill set, and it's like find the problem and offer the solution in the language that person's going to get. And that means you may need to do some polls. You may need to do some surveys. If you're connecting with other people, ask them what are they faced with? What challenges do they have? How secure is your job or your business right now? Find out these things. And particularly, we're not like just marketing to customers in the Build the Bronze. We're also like looking for leaders that want to duplicate what we're doing. And in this time, March, next month, JobKeeper gets cut off. Who knows what's going to happen with the economy? So it's a very timely historical moment to be looking at how do you market with your ideal business builder. Think about the demographic. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Sorry, our cleaner who's here vacuuming. You probably hear that in the background. Yeah, so it's a really important exercise to do, I think, and it will be, there can be different characteristics in each of those. So, often they'll say is that you'll be best able to kind of like relate to the person who is like you, that has the pain that you have, right? Like that you had. So, Janine's situation was similar to what Diana was saying, facing a retirement that wasn't looking like a good situation financially. So Janine can really speak to people that are facing that with a heap of conviction. And like they're going to get that because she had that emotional pain and suffering there that was related to that. Whereas, I wouldn't be as well equipped to attract that in as my ideal person. It doesn't mean that I won't get people like that are like joining my team, of course, but it's more, not like the core place of where I'm going to come from. So does anyone have anything to add about doing the ideal builder statement, how it's helped them that has done it before? I know a few of you have done it before.
Well, look, I unfortunately just can't put my hands on it right now, but even with the 5 pillars and the branding and like when I know my ideal builder now, and I struggle with that for a long time, That's now I'm changing my profile picture on and my profile and what I'm posting about in Facebook and what I'm going to be doing in other platforms. That's how fundamental this is. This is a key exercise. So has anyone else got any breakthroughs from doing their ideal builder?
Thanks for sharing that, Justin, because see how I keep telling everyone on these calls is to put your why up where you can see it every day, to have this where you can see it. Because what did Justin, say, like, sometimes we don't always follow our own advice either. And we need to like whack ourselves around the head too, don't we, Justin? Is we can't put our hands on it right now. So that, like, I have got an old one of my ideal builder statement on a little post-it note right here on my computer, and I need to update that. So me even, training you, I realize that, wow, that is like, I need to update that, because then every time before I go and do a Facebook Live, or I do a post, or I, do a video or something like that, that is not for you as in the team, but as for me, as in like marketing myself, or I write an article on LinkedIn, I'm going to think about this person like that I've got written down before I do that. So there's a lot of power in that, because, most of us now are building our businesses online and offline, because COVID, for those that weren't building online, it's forced the hand into having to do that more so. So it's really important to do that. And that's why I feel like sometimes I sound like a crack record, like make sure you have it where you can see it every day. Make sure that you put it on your wall. Make sure you put it in your toilet if you spend time in there every day, because it's easy. It doesn't matter how experienced you are in this business to forget your why, to forget who you're talking to, forget who you want to like really attract in. It's really easy to just get caught up and forget.
Nicole, can I just add something?
Yeah.
I actually have my ideal builder guide right on our fridge, where I see it every time I go there.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been looking at it recently and thinking that I set the bar too high. It's not realistic. And I've got to stop and think about that all over again, start from the beginning. Because sure, the things that I've written there would be ideal, but it's probably not the real world type ideal. That's what I've got to look at.
Is it not realistic, or you need to upgrade your mindset and your belief?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a bit realistic. No, I think my mindset and my belief's okay, but I've got to be more precise. I don't have clarity over it. That was your key word earlier.
Yeah. Julie, do you want to add something? Because I know I've done this exercise with you before.
Yeah, I was just going to say everything that has been coming into my life through recommended books or programs that we've been looking at lately has been around your purpose and getting really clear on what you want to attract. And since this call, I've taken 2 pages of notes. So I'm not sure how many other of you have done that. And I haven't reached my goals yet, but for me, it's getting even more clear. And Margot, I'm a massive believer that, we've got to set our expectations high. We've got to set our intentions high. We have to, that ideal builder, you wrote it for a reason. And the moment that you doubt that you can't attract that person into your life, the universe just goes, you're not ready. Right? So you have to, it's like with our goals and our visions, we have to really believe that this person's going to walk into our house or walk into our life or at the shops, bump into us with such conviction that it's going to happen, right? With the moment that you have a moment of doubt, like when I was training for the Olympics, do you think that I didn't think I was going to win a medal? No way. The moment you have that fraction of a doubt, the universe just goes, not ready, and you got to start again.
Yeah.
I've got so much more clarity from this call alone, just rediscovering what I want to attract.
I've got clarity from teaching this, because I realized I haven't updated mine, right? And I have been feeling like, like Justin said, a bit unsure about next, because the next step and the next growth phase for us, it's like, it's never done. It's not like you do this once and it's going to be the same in a year's time. So it's really important.
Can I just add
But-
to that? I realise.
And that's a good thing, being on the skinny branches. Have you heard that saying of being out there on the
Yeah.
skinny branches? Like
Yeah.
you, this concept of being able to pivot, being able to be adaptable, being able to try things. This is a safe place, right? When we do these calls, this is a safe place for us to fall forward, to give it a go. You know, any action's better than no action. And if you don't like what you're doing, you get to course correct.
Yeah.
Okay. And what Nicole's talking about there is we're starting to play with different social media platforms and things. And that's a bit scary. It's like, crikey, we're going to have to upskill and, you know, do stuff there. But so it's exciting. And remember the difference between fear and exciting.
Mm.
You know, fear is a reaction, exciting is a choice, but it's the same physiological reaction in the body.
Mm.
You know, it's just an interpretation. And you do want the goals and you do want your ideal business builder to be exciting. You do want to get a little bit of jitters around that, you know, and I totally agree with what Julie said. You've got to have commitment. It's like boots and all. You've got to throw your hat over the fence, even though you don't know how to climb that fence and get that hat back. It's your hat. Go freaking get it.
Yeah.
You know, this is your wealth. This is your retirement. This is your legacy. Figure out a way to go get it.
Yeah.
Elon Musk says that degrees are not to figure out how to do stuff. They're to prove that you can get your chores done and have some fun with peers.
Mm.
Right? But you look at all the big ones, they dropped out. Elon Musk dropped out. Steve Jobs dropped out. Bill Gates dropped out. Like, get into that mindset of like, how do I do this, but be absolutely committed to do
I
it.
dropped out of my honours degree.
I've dropped out 3 times.
I did. I never went back and finished it. They really tried to convince me to do a PhD, and I was like, yeah, no.
I do it all the time. I get what I need out of a course and I'm done. See you later.
Yeah.
Next. You
Yeah.
know, like I don't care about the certificate. I care about the learning.
Can I just
So we're
add
gonna.
ideal builder? I haven't actually done this exercise, but I've talked to someone at work on the weekend, and when I go through that checklist, he's got it all. And the funny thing is, I didn't like him to start with. I didn't actually like him. I thought, oh, yeah. Anyway, he's entrepreneurial. He's been working for a drug company doing education. He's quit it. He's quite out there. He's disillusioned with nursing, and we're organising things already with him. And I just said to him, come outside with me. I want to talk to you about something exciting. And he's just right onto it already.
So this is what I talked about, being authentic. Some of it's going to be confronting. It may be confronting for who you are as a parent, who you are as a friend, how you are as a business person, who you think you might want to work with, and who the reality is.
Mm.
You know, I always wanted to save natural therapists that were financially struggling. I don't want to save them anymore. They need to save themselves.
Mm.
You know, I want to work with people that want to go to the next level, that don't think that they'd like to earn a 6-figure income, that demand that they earn a 6-figure plus income, a multiple 6-figure income, because they know that that's how they're going to live the life of their dreams and fulfill themselves. You know, so your mindset shifts. The more you play with this, your mindset will shift. And, you know, get honest with yourself about what's going to work.
Yeah, so that's your exercise for this week, but to continue in doing your, you know, your DMO, and like just watch all the time. Like if you're getting the beliefs come up, I can't do this, I don't feel comfortable, then there's always that work to do on your belief system. So I don't know if Janine had anything else to add. Like we've been doing some work around even like, you know, developing like some statements about yourself and putting them out there even more, like in our Platinum Diamond Push program, which made some people uncomfortable. So yeah, this is like kind of like the first step to then, you know, going out publicly a little more.
Yeah, look, no, I'm a work in progress. Everybody on this call, and yeah, the levels go up. I feel like I'm a bit disorientated in this moment, because, you know, like when you're shifting and stepping up, you know, you'll kind of feel I feel a bit disorientated, which is fine. You know, I'm loving the process, and you know, I'm just reworking my why right now. And, you know, it's really been interesting for me to look at things that I haven't looked at before. So it's a process and I'm loving it. And I've really got a lot, like Julie, I've taken a lot of notes today. Like you've got no idea, you know, all of us have got something incredible to learn. And you know, you don't have to be working towards bronze to have learned a lot today. But Nicole, like I realized I don't have up my statement of my ideal builder. I'm looking at it on my computer. So I'm going to get that printed off and like connect with that when I'm doing whatever I'm doing on social media or when I'm having conversations. Because, you know, like I'm clear the difference I want to make to people, but I want to have that intention there when I'm doing what I'm doing in terms of, you know, building my ASEA business. So thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, Janine. So I hope you can see that, like, you know, a lot of you are here on this group and you're participating in this program to get to bronze, but, you know, like leaders who've achieved significant ranks like platinum, diamond, ambassador diamond in this group are saying, wow, we like have realized that we all need to work on this too. And so if you're getting, I mean, that's a sign right there. When you've got someone who's already had a lot of success saying, we need to redo this, this is really important and we need to stay connected to it, that's a sign that this is not, it's not just like a little thing about sitting and writing it down. And it could like literally take you 5 minutes to do this, or it might take you 5 hours to do this, right? Because it depends how stuck you are like within yourself. Like sometimes we get really stuck and it's really hard to do this. There's a reason why, you know, Justin and myself and Janine said we haven't got it sitting in front of our computer right now. Do you think that's because we got stuck with it and we were like, we just didn't like make that time and the commitment to do it because we were stuck and we were unsure, right? But if we sit down and do that and we get the clarity, everything will shift. So yeah, don't feel alone if you get stuck either, because we all do it. All right.
There was a question from Anya. Thank you so much for raising that. So Anya was talking about, you know, is it all right to have a couple of type of prospects, one for product and one for business? So I responded to her around that. So in the course of my everyday life, I'm open to a customer at any time, right? I come across someone, no matter what demographic, no matter what situation, I'm open to that kind of lifestyle prospecting, I call that, customer. Okay, so I have a set of tools and a way of doing business with them. If I'm actively marketing towards a certain type of prospect, I might develop a 30-second elevator pitch towards that. I might look at a specific tool that I'm going to send someone like that. But what we're talking about here is a business builder. And this is where you get leverage. You can have lots of customers and have an income. But what I want for you, and I think why you're all here, is the promise of financial independence, of passive and residual income, an income that continues to grow whether you work or not, or whether you have to take time out to do something, look after a parent or something like that, right? Now to do that, you want to get very specific on that ideal business builder and build a business system around that. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're different things, you know, and it's, I think a really great example of that is different types of prospects. Like, so, you know, Justin's experience, right, of, you know, having his like tick infection, he was really sick. You know, like I did a lot to help him through that time. And he had a thing, he really wanted to help people with that same condition. I'm like, I never want to talk to anyone with that condition ever again, because they are a nightmare to deal with, like as a whole. Like they have a lot of like problems, and you know, Justin really wants to help them. So that's like his, what would you call that? That's your like service, right?
I pay it forward, right? That's my giving back. Okay. But yeah, I can't think of a single one that's ever gone on to become a business builder in an organization. Like some of them have hit executive ranks and dropped away, but not a single one of those people has like excelled and become a top leader in our organization. So that's not my ideal business building you know, statement. But it's still important to me. It's just like put things in their place. In the context of this call, how are you going to get your financial dreams this year? who's your ideal business builder and what that demographic looks like, what's that profile look like, and start to learn how to speak to their language. Diana, what I would say, you've found gold there. You found someone who fit your ideal business builder and you didn't even like them. You know, you personally didn't like them to start with. I would start asking that person questions, really good quality questions to find out what are their pain points in life. What would they expect out of a side gig or their own business, an online business? What are they thinking could be their solutions for their future? Because that's your market research, right? And the more market research you can do, the better the tool you can build, the approach you can, and the words you can say to build a connection with that person to bring them into your organization.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like a very important exercise. So I hope that you all have an enjoyable time doing that this week. Make sure you share it, at least in your accountability groups, your ideal builder statement. Of course, you can come and share it in the Telegram thread, although of course we can't see who it is because I set the Telegram up in the incorrect way. But anyway, see, everyone makes mistakes when they're learning. So I messed that up. I'm sorry. I've learnt my lesson for next time. So yeah, like definitely share that and to get, you know, feedback from your group, and you'll feel it when it's right. So, you know, and just set aside some time to do it. And if you know, are struggling with it, maybe like go outside in nature for a walk or sit and do a short meditation and then sit down to do it, so that you are like, you know, grounded, you're tuned in, because then it should come much easier. That would be my
turn
advice.
the phone off, limit distractions, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Often Nicole and I'll go to like a beautiful place by the water to do this kind of work without the child. Love her. But you know what I mean? It's like create the space for you to do the hard work. Remember that it's the thinking. Think and grow rich. This is the hardest work of all, is to get the thoughts clear and build the business around that.
Yeah. Awesome. Right.
Awesome.
Well, have a great week ahead, everyone. Hopefully we'll see some of you on the team call tonight. We're going to be talking about social media and branding yourself this evening, and
the importance of events. Envision's coming up, ladies and
Envision's
gentlemen.
coming up.
All of those in Southeast Queensland. I hope you're coming.
Yeah.
There's not many coming, not nearly as many as I expected.
Yeah. So definitely, you know, grab your tickets if you are going to get along to that. That would be awesome.
Even though we're in COVID, events still matter.
They do. They definitely
And this is the
do.
biggest event for the year.
Yeah.
The Envision event for Australia.
Awesome.
All right.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye all.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a great week.
Bye-bye.